video, I found a little game that I thought would be really fun. So basically, it is fantasy storytelling dice. So the dice have a bunch of little pictures, and you roll them, and then you can create a story using the pictures on the dice. So as soon as I saw that, I thought it would make such a fun ASMR video. So there are a total of 6 dice, and I'll show them to you real quick. This one is the animals. We have a bunny, a cat, a mouse, a lamb, or a sheep, a chicken, and a frog. So there's that. The next one looks like it's environmental or nature. So it's grass, tree, mushroom, leaves, flower, clover, 4-leaf clover. Yeah. The next one has insects. So there's a butterfly, a dragonfly, a bee, an ant, a beetle, and a ladybug. The next one is fruit. So there's a strawberry, a pear, cherries, apple, carrot, and cherries. Wait. Oh, yeah, it's just a couple of them have double of the same. This next one is weather. So rainy, snowy, thunderstorm, windy, sunny, and partly cloudy. And then the last one is like terrain, I guess. So it's forest, desert, mountains, beach, swamp. I can't tell what this one is. And this one I genuinely have no idea what it's supposed to represent. But let's see. Snowy hills. I'll just go with snowy hills for that one. Alright, so that's all of the dice. I can make stories with all of them, or I can use a couple or a few at a time, but I think it will be the most fun to use all of them. So I'm going to roll these dice, and I will make up a story based on the pictures on the dice. And I'll just do that a bunch of times. And you can think of it as bedtime stories. Okay. him into trouble. His mother always scolded him for going off the path and said, "You're going to get lost, or you might get hurt, or what if I lose you and I can't find you again?" The little ant said, "Don't worry so much, it's gonna be okay. I just want to see the world, and I want to see what's out there." So eventually, the little ant's mother accepted that she had a very adventurous little ant, and she had to give him that freedom to adventure. So he took a little sack full of some crumbs so that he wouldn't get hungry, and he left the tribe. I wonder which way I'll go, thought the little ant. I can go this way, or I can go that way. It has been a very, very sunny day. For days and days it has been so sunny in the desert. The ant looked up at the sky and noticed there were some clouds. Wow, I've never seen anything like that. I wonder what those are. The clouds started moving across the sun, granting a little bit of shade. The ant decided to follow the path where there was a little bit of shade, so that maybe you can rest. The little tiny ant walked and walked and walked towards the shade. He was so exhausted, so tired. He had been walking for a very, very long time, further than he's ever walked before. All of a sudden, the little ant noticed something off in the distance. It looked like it was moving. Wow, I've never seen anything like that before, said the little ant. He followed towards the moving thing, and it turns out it was a nice little bunny just bouncing around. "Oh, hello there," said the bunny. "What brings you here to my house?" "Oh, well, I'm all alone, and I'm getting a little bit hungry and tired, and I was just looking for a good place to rest," said the ant. "Oh, well, do come in," said the little bunny. "You can come rest at my house today." The ant walked inside of the little bunny's house and was absolutely amazed. The entire interior was covered with flowers. So many flowers. It gave off such a delightful aroma. The little ant had never seen such a garden before. "Why don't you come a bit further in? I'll show you something," said the little bunny. The little ant followed the little bunny further and further through her little garden house. And it was such an amazing sight. And at the very end, the bunny stopped and said, "This is my favorite food, strawberries. Would you like to have a look? The little ant followed the bunny towards the strawberries in amazement. He's never seen such bright and beautiful fruit before. What are these? Asked the tiny ant. Well, these are delicious strawberries. Here, why don't you try some? Sure, I'd be delighted. Thank you, said the ant. And the little ant and the little bunny enjoyed their strawberries, and they lived happily ever after. The end. Alright, I will reset the dice, and then we'll make up a new start. Oh goodness. These are the dice. We've got a forest, a bunny, cherries, a mushroom, a beetle, and a thunderstorm. Okay. Once upon a time, in the great mushroom forest, there lived a bunny. This bunny had a taste for the more exquisite things in life, and he refused to settle for less. Every day, while walking through the mushroom forest, the dapper bunny wore his best shoes, his best bow tie, and his very favorite silk scarf. He didn't really go for walks to enjoy himself. He mostly went on his walks every day to show off to the neighborhood critters how dapper he looked today. It made him feel good when he passed by little birds and beetles, and he thought to himself, I look so good. Those beetles and those birds don't even have silk, but I do. The rabbit, the dapper bunny, walked and walked and walked with his nose up in the air, sniffing about the forest, hoping to get every creature in the forest to notice him and his delightful appearance. But today, in the great mushroom forest, something out of the ordinary happened. Usually, on his walk, he would encounter all different animals. Squirrels, hedgehogs, other rabbits, birds, foxes, owls if it was late enough. Something was different. The forest was completely silent, and there was no one around to admire him. Oh, whatever shall I do? Thought the dapper rabbit to himself. I dressed up so nicely today, and nobody even saw me. I guess I'll go back home. Oh well. Not realizing how late it had gotten, the rabbit realized it was starting to get very dark. He started to feel afraid and started walking faster. As he started walking faster towards his house, he realized, wait, did I go the wrong direction? Which way did I come from? Oh no, my shoes are going to get dirty. I better find the right way quickly. He looked up and all around, but he couldn't figure out how to get back home. When all of a sudden, to his dismay, he heard a loud crash. Oh no, a thunderstorm. My shoes will definitely get muddy, and my silk, it's not supposed to get wet. What am I supposed to do? Oh. He hurried and found a little tree that he could hide under as quickly as possible. I normally don't resort to these kinds of things, he thought to himself, but this is a true emergency. Yeah. He crawled and ducked under the branches, ruining his beautifully combed hair, only to find a family of deer snuggled up. They looked so warm, and they were so friendly too. Oh, hi, why don't you come in? You shouldn't be outside in the storm, said the mother deer. Yeah, you can just stay with us. Nervously, and feeling like he had no other option, he reluctantly agreed to stay with the friendly deer. He walked into their home. The rabbit smelled something delicious simmering on the fire. The open flame was such a cozy sight to see, and everybody was gathered for warmth. What are you cooking? Asked the rabbit. Oh, we're working on a soup actually. The whole family has been gathering all sorts of ingredients, all of our favorite ingredients from the forest today, to prepare this soup. Would you like to stay and have some? Oh, sure. Thank you so much. That's too kind of you. The smallest of the deer came up to the rabbit and said, I found these today. Look. And she pulled out some cherries, a fresh bowl of very red, very juicy, delicious cherries. Would you like some of them? Have you ever had these before? The rabbit had never had cherries before, actually. Oh. Why, this is delicious. Thank you so much for sharing. I really look forward to the soup. What kind of ingredients did you put in the soup? Well, we have sage leaves, pine branch, also some acorns, willow wood, mushrooms, rosemary, things like that. Lots of leaves as well. The deer's favorite leaves, of course. Well, it smells and sounds amazing, thought the rabbit. I don't know how to cook, actually. I've never cooked before. He realized that he hadn't felt this nice in a long time. He didn't know about the joy of a home-cooked meal and a cozy, warm fire with loving people around it. I want my life to be more like this, thought the rabbit. I don't really have a lot of fun or delicious food. The dapper bunny looked around at all of the friendly deer that were happy to be sharing a soup together, and he realized that his house was not so warm like this. Sure, he had all of the best silks in all of the forest, but he had no one to share them with. At that point, he started to realize that maybe he was a little bit lonely, and that was why he cared so much about his silks and his clothes. "Excuse me," said the rabbit. "May I come over again for dinner, or have you over to my house sometime? I've never cooked before, and maybe we can eat together and you can teach me how to cook." The deer were delighted that he asked. Of course. We love cooking and we love making new friends too. Here, the soup is ready. Why don't you have some? Let's all eat now. The deer portioned everybody a delicious big bowl of their favorite soup, made from plants gathered from the forest, and they all snuggled together around the fire and safely waited for the thunderstorm to pass. And they lived happily ever after. The end. I hope that you liked these stories that I made up. And if you would like me to make another ASMR video using these storyteller dice, please let me know